AI is allowing small business to so that they can be able to manage entire finances without having to pay for expensive GA, especially in the accounting industry. And in today's episode, we are going to have a full-time accountant who is going to help us to demystify each and everything that you need to know here. But what's even crazier is those who understand how to use these tools correctly are cutting costs, and they are cutting costs, and it's able to make them maximize the profit that they are able to make. And more importantly, saving them hours of hassles, especially having to rely on AI plus Excel. Because now Excel has embedded certain tools on this AI edge, and they are able to make their work much more faster and easier. In today's episode, we have in our midst a chartered accountant who is in the name Mr. 𝗕ance. Mr. 𝗕ance, welcome to this session.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Okay, so Mr. 𝗕ance, what do you think are some of the pain point problems that small businesses have, especially when it comes to their issues of managing their finances?
Good afternoon to you once again, and to our cherished viewers across the globe. Before I start, I would like to explain some concepts that are very important when it comes to business ownership. There is something we call a concept in accounting we call business entity concept. And this concept explains how your business is separate from the ownership. This concept also tells us how to see a business as an entity on its own. A business can be sued and it can be sued. So in that concession, we would understand that when you have a business, you must exist separate from the business. And this will let you understand everything you do would have to be separate. You must have your personal account, and business must have its personal account. The one fundamental mistake, especially small businesses make when it comes to their finances, that the very account that they use to operate the business is also their personal account. What this means is that all the expenditure that they make through the account is not only business expenses that they make. All the monies that, some of the monies that you even see are not even theirs, and it passes through the account. And people don't understand the ramifications of this kind of things that they do. So what you have to understand is that your business would have to be separate. You have to have a separate business account, and also have your personal account that you also operate. So in this way, you are able to understand that all the finances that relates to business must go to the business account, and all personal transactions and also finances will also have to go through your personal account. In this way, you'll be able to manage your finances very well with the account, because when you even go to the bank and you want to open an account, it's either you open a saving account or current account, even though individual can also operate current account. But mostly it is the businesses that always operate the current account. So in this way, you would, all transactions that are personal don't go to your business account. Why am I saying this? When you begin to let your personal influence or use business finance, it kind of confuses you on how you'll be able to understand the info. Because mind you, you can have this because of the records are kept by the bank. When you go for your financial, your bank statement at the end of the day, you realize that most of the information that you have are business, but there are some information that you can't even explain. some of the transactions that have passed through that you can't even explain. So in that way, it makes managing your finance, even if you want to go for advice or let me say some how do you call it? You're going to go for a facility. The bank would also advise you that the business you must have a separate account for your personal activity, and also a business account for business activity. Before I even go further.
And in fact, it's very, very important for you to know that it is required by law to have a proper bookkeeping record so that you'll be able to get things done with your accounts. So we have Mr. 𝗕cie. I believe his network is stable now. So I am trying to ask a question, Mr. 𝗕cie. I'm trying to ask you a question. Many small business owners end up using notebook or some, especially when it comes to your bookkeeping. So as Mr. 𝗕cie always tells us, ignorance of the law is also not an excuse. So you always have to get a smooth notebook or a smooth bookkeeping system which will let you keep proper records of your account. So we have Mr. 𝗕cie again. So we will try to reconnect with him. The question I was asking him was, many small business owners end up using notebook or some simple record keeping system that let them just keep their records. Is this a danger activity to be embarking as a business, or is okay for you to run it as a small business? Let me find your view, Mr. 𝗕cie.
Yes, when you start a business at fresh, keeping records is obligatory. Even by law, you are mandated to keep records of what you do. So at the business, at your level, when you have a notebook that you try to make your entries, but what happens is that the notebook can help you to write, but the probability of making a lot of mistakes it will be very high. And also, when you want to use your records to take decision, assuming let's say you have 1 year records of your activity, and all are in a notebook, and you would want to have a trend of activities within that records that you have kept, it becomes very difficult. And even if you commit any mistake, seeing it will be very difficult, because once you commit a mistake in your notebook, tracing it will be very difficult, and probably it might even carry out throughout all the information you'll be using. But what I would advise is, when you intend to even keep a notebook sort of information, you must you must be able to classify the records very well. When you classify your record very well, you get some advice from somebody, a finance person, to let you understand how you are supposed to keep your records, so that at the end of the day, at your own level, you will be able to trace whatever information that you have. Mind you, whatever you are doing, you might be selling, you might also be purchasing.
Or keep on learning, and we keep on getting the best out of anything that needs to be done here. So just like I was telling you, I'll share with you some small a story about me personally when it comes to my bookkeeping. Though I'm not financial savvy and novice, I'm also learning. So you always have to make sure you have a proper bookkeeping of your expenses and your income. You should make sure you keep track of all these things. So when you have a proper track of your expenses, especially having the receipt of each and every expenses, as well as your income sources, it helps the taxes people to be able to calculate their taxes much more easier from you. I think we are joined with Mr. 𝗕cie again So, Mr. Yes, can you continue from where you left us?
Yeah, we were talking about the using notebook as your record keeping for the record keeping. What I'm saying, what I said earlier was record keeping is so important. It's even required by must keep proper records. So, in keeping records, you must understand how to go about it. You must have a record of your suppliers, those people that supply for you. It might be that when you buy from your suppliers, you don't pay cash, you pay at a later. You also sell, you must also have a record of your sales. It is possible that you also sell some cash and some would be in debt. So all of these are records that you need. And also your stock records, whatever you are into it, you must have records of your stock. How much has gone out, how much is remaining. These are all necessary. These are all necessary book must adhere to if you really want to be in business. In business.
Yes.
Yes, I was explaining the sort of records that one has to keep when you as a small business operator. I was talking about you having what we call the day books. The day books being your records of your suppliers, the people that supply whatever you are into it. You must have a book that you record all the information from your suppliers. And at the same time, you must also have a record of all the sales that you make, whether being cash sales or debt sales. So at the end of the day, your sales must show the complete records of what has gone out of your stock. You must also have a stock records, the records of your stock, which would when you keep proper records of account, your stock, you'll be able to understand how much has come in and how much has left and how much is remaining. It is very, very to always keep track of. Assuming you are into, let's say, a clothing business, a clothing business, your account. You're supposed to keep records by always ensuring that all your purchases will be recorded. When you record all your purchases, you will be able to understand how much you have in stock, the quantities you have in stock. And whatever has gone out is your sales, what you have sold from what you bought. So when you keep a proper record of your stock, you'll be able to understand how much you have and how much you have sold. This will let you understand what you have at the end of the day. So you'll be able to keep records of your cash. You'll be able to keep records of your purchases. You'll be able to keep records of your sales. You'll be able to keep records of your stock. All these are very important records that one must keep.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you must also record all your expenditure, because in the process of you selling whatever business, when you even go to buy, when you are also selling, you incur some expenses, and these expenses are also recognizable by law if they are indeed for the business. So your expenses record, your purchases record, your cash record, your stock record, your sales record are some of the records that you must keep all the time, so that at the end of the day, when you want to know how much you make, because the aim of every business is to make profit.
Yeah.
Nobody is in business to make loss. So assuming you don't keep proper records of account, how would you be able to tell whether you are making profit or you are making loss? So your
That's
records
important.
would
So,
help
Mr.
you. And
Yes, a quick question that I want to find out from you. What inspired you through this journey of trying to help small businesses in becoming more financially efficient?
yes, what happened was that in my line of work, I actually happened to work with one audit firm. And in my line of one of the duties that I assume there is to visit SMEs, these small business owners, to write books for them and to also teach them proper bookkeeping methods. What I realized is that uh, one of the problems that I actually encountered was that there was one person that was approached by tax people to provide his bank account, and the bank account he provided was the one that was mixed with business and also personal activity. So at the end of the day, he ended up with a very big problem because the tax authorities has actually used all the inflows because he was actually not keeping proper records. So one of the ways to get how much ends or how much the business makes is to get his bank statement, go into the bank statement, find out how much inflows came through his bank statement, so through his bank. So at the end of the day, they added everything from the credit side as being his inflows. Yes.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, all of that was used as his assessable income, and his tax liability was so big such that he couldn't afford. Why? Because he didn't put proper records.
Wow.
So if he had, in the first place, kept a separate account from a business account separate from his personal account, what he will do is, in the first place, is that he will give them the business account, and that is what they should limit themselves to until there is the requirement. It is required that he also produces his personal account. They will only limit themselves to business account. So some of these challenges that I have seen across actually motivate. It gives me an inspiration to go into advising SMEs on how to go about their finances. Because at the end of the day, when you keep proper records of account, you'll be able not to only for tax purpose, you'll be able to take a lot of decision from the records that you put. So all businesses, if you really want to know whether you are progressing, you must keep proper records, because your
And that
profitability, you
brings
are in
me
business to make.
to my next question. So, Mr. Anyas, what do you think are the key things every small business owner should track monthly or month to stay financially healthy?
Okay, to stay financially healthy is very necessary when you are always take. Let me take an example of somebody who operates in who buys and sells. Any business at all would use the same thing, but when you buy and sell,
Three things that you need to do in order, three things that you need to do in order to stay financially healthy. You have to make sure you are required by law to keep proper records of your expenses, your stock, your income, and everything that relates with you. And if you operate a business, try and have a separate account with that of your business and that of your personal account. And Mr. Anyas has given us some explanation of a story that has to do with one man who found himself in this situation. And I believe we have Mr. Anyas back here. The network hasn't been stable with us, and we'll try to reconnect with him. So just bear with us. We are going to provide you with the nitty-gritty of everything that you need to know here. So if you are also following us and you have any question regarding your finances and how you think tech can be able to help you manage your finances properly, we are here to assist you. We have in our midst a chartered accountant ready to give us an in-depth analysis of everything that we need to know with us. So make sure you have your notebook, you have your pen and paper, stick with you so that you'll be able to get the best out of anything that you need to know. So we have Mr. Anyas back with us. I hope Mr. Anyas can hear us clearly. Hello, Mr. Anyas. I hope you can hear us clearly. So let's try to reconnect with Mr. Anyas again. I think maybe we have some little network glitch. We will fix it up. And guys, if you have, you can bring it up. Mr. Anyas will help handle each and everything that you need to know. So stick with us, and we are going to give you an in-depth analysis on everything that you need to know here. Just like you know, managing your finances is very important for you to stay healthy, for you to be able to make the necessary things that you need to do in order for you to survive in this current time that we have. So I think Mr. Anyas has reconnected with us. So we'll link up with him in a moment. So I hope his network is now stable. So we are going to transition to him right now. So Mr. Anyas, can you continue from where you paused?
Yes, we were talking about what the earlier question was about. We were talking.
Feature the question in our next live session. So you can always leave your question in the comment section, and we will take it and answer it bit by bit. So is Mr. Anyas now connected with us? Okay, so Mr. Anyas, I'm bringing you back. I think the network hasn't been stable for us today. So you can continue sharing with us the information that you were given.
Yes, I was talking about the records. I was talking about the records keeping and how it's beneficial, and what is beneficial, and what has also landed somebody who happens to keeping tax authorities. And the only thing to do is aim of every person being in any business is to make profit, and profitability is the first motive of entering into any business. First motive of entering into any business. So if you don't put appropriate profit your business is making, and by the time you realize without proper bookkeeping, you will be in mess. You see, one problem is that some people think that it's not necessary to keep records, and that is one of the cardinal reason why businesses collapse in their early stages. The reason being that the records they are keeping is not enough to even establish, to let them take the record keeping is not helping them to understand how to move with the business. How do they do this? When somebody is not keeping proper sales record, when somebody is not keeping proper purchases records, when somebody is not keeping proper stock records, at the end of the day, when even somebody steals from you, how would you know? So the proper records will let you understand what you are doing, how to go about what you do, and also the decisions to move forward with your business. Assuming I was giving you how you would have to, the type of books that you are supposed to keep. I talked about you having a purchases book, which would opportunity to write everything that you buy from your suppliers, because it's the first thing.
So, Mr. Anyas, you were making some quick delivery. Sorry, the network wasn't able to help us. I think maybe the network is just not
Yes,
helping. Yeah. So continue, please.
yes. So the next thing too, because whatever you buy, you will end up selling them. So you must also have proper records of your sales, because it is from this that you'll be able to compare with what you bought and understand whether you are making profit or you are making a loss. So a proper sales record, how do you do that? Some would be selling on cash basis. If you are selling on cash basis, it means you don't have a problem. You you would have to keep proper records of your sales, of the cash. But if you happen to also sell on credit, then at the end of the day, you have what we call receivables or debtors. When you are able to keep proper records, nobody will come and buy from, let's say, $1,000 and end up telling you that it is not up to that, because the records will always be there. So what documents does one also needs to be able to?
This kind of education, you'll not get it anywhere other than this channel. So here we are helping you to know the importance of having a proper bookkeeping and how you can even do it properly. And in our midst is a chartered accountant who is taking us through step by step for you to be able to get to know each and everything that you need to know here. It's the network that couldn't help us, and we will try to reconnect with Mr. Anyas again so that we bring him live here. It's unfortunate that today the topic is hot and the network is also making things unbearable with us. But we will try to get back to you and get everything that you need to know with Mr. Anyas. So, Mr. Anyas, please, have you been able to reconnect with us? Sorry to our audience once again. Have you been able to reconnect with us, Mr. Anyas? I think we still had a network glitch. We are not able to properly connect with Mr. Anyas. So we'll try to reconnect with him. Give us a moment. So this topic is so hot that we don't want to miss it. We want to make sure that Mr. Anyas has done justice to the topic. So if you are audience and you are following us, just be patient. We will keep on providing you with the necessary information that you need to know. So is Mr. Anyas here with us now, please? Hello? Is Mr. Anyas with us now? Sorry, the network has an issue with us. So we have reconnected with you. You can continue from where you ended. So please give us
Yes.
just be in the flow.
Good. So when you purchase, you have a proper record of your purchases. The next thing is that you'll be selling. When you are also selling, there are two documents that you need to sell. The first one is your invoice, and the second one is your receipt book. So the invoice and the receipt book are what you will use to sell. Because at the end of the day, whatever you are selling, you must write the details of the sales, the details of the particulars of the quantities, the price, and the amount, whether there is tax also inclusive. Remember, I told you that when you are selling, the tax people would have to be aware of the record. So the fortunate thing is that when you register for VAT over here, they give you a booklet that you would have to sell. And when you go in some other jurisdiction, it is the sales tax system that you are connected to. So at the end of the day, your invoices will show the amount of the quantities of goods that you have sold, and your receipt will also show how much you have received, how much funds you have received, because some customers can buy from you and they don't pay all. So what you do is that when you have the invoice will show you the total amount that they are supposed to pay. When you receive the money, the receipt will also show how much you have received and how much is remaining. So at the end of the day, you'll be able to have a source document that you'll be able to track all your sales and have a proper records in your book. The next thing after your sales is to consider how you also keep proper records of your stock. Remember, when you buy from a supplier, you would have to record it. But when it is leaving, you are no more recording it in the supplier's book. You must have a stock records which shows how much you have received and how much has gone out of your stock. So at the end of the day, these documents that you use in selling will prove to you how much you have, the quantities you have sold out. And also, if you have also received an invoice from your supplier, it will also give you a source document to know how much quantities you have purchased from a supplier.
And it needs to do with your information that you are keeping. So make sure to stick with us. And I'm going to check whether we have quick questions. But because the network isn't favorable, we might end the conversation temporarily so that we'll be able to continue in our next episode. So this topic will definitely continue again. The network wasn't stable, so for that purpose we have to end it today so that we'll have a smooth transitions to the following week, especially when it has to do with this topic. So I'm gonna engage Mr. Anyas in depth so that Mr. Anyas will give us a bit of information that we need to know regarding this topic. So I think we'll have a part 1 and 2 of this particular topic in question. So if you have any question, you can always leave it in the comment section and it might be featured in our next live session. If you are here, make sure to subscribe to be part of the family. We promise to give our audience the necessary education that they need to use to navigate and find their way out in this current time, whether it be in tech, whether it be in finances, in any other sectors that you can think on. So we are going to continue in our next series. So you can always leave your question. If you are watching this video in the replay session, you can feel free to leave the question in the comment section and I might pick it and feature it in the next live series. So stick with us. This channel is Mubarick MD and it's TechHow-to, and we are committed to helping people survive and navigate through their journey in this tech era. So we are going to use business, we are going to use health, we are going to use any other sectors and see how tech will be able to kind of transition into all this sector. So thank you for being here. The network hasn't been stable, so we don't want to worry our guests, and we will continue again. Thank you very much once again. Thank you.